こんにちは皆さん、Gitsapalooza にようこそ。
Hello everyone and welcome to Gitsapalooza. Today we are going to be trying out the new Wolf Clan against my alpha list. This is just not the alpha dogs, it's just the alphas. So should be an interesting test. We are playing Muzakashi. So let me pan over to this. There's our thing. So we've got 6 scenario objectives, baseline deployment. We've got on player 3, whoever has the most friendly scenario objectives, that is turning. And for that, it doesn't matter whether they're friendly, neutral, or enemy. It's just whoever has the most friendly objectives turned in their direction. And they all start neutral. And then 1 victory point on turn 5 to the player with the most scenario points. And that is that does take into account the prayer at the various idols. So we have 5 prayer tokens, and it's that second objective where the friendly, neutral, and enemy come in. And then the player whose Vim is closest to the deployment zone will be determined at the end of the game. And the game length is variable. So the game could end on turn 5, or it could go on beyond that. And I think last time we did this, we did closed Vim. So I think this time we're going to do open Vim. And so we'll see how it goes. Should be hopefully a fun game. I'm sorry the Wolf Clan isn't painted yet. I'm waiting. I want to airbrush them, so I'm waiting for one more figure to show up. Not the one that was not in the box set. And once he does, I'll get the airbrush out and get them all painted. But for now, I thought you guys might be interested in seeing how they play. So we're going to give it a shot. I will be back in a moment with the armies. Okay, here we are with the alphas list for the Oni. So obviously, as I've mentioned, it's got the alpha theme. So you get a -1 rice bonus on the models, on the Oni models. You get to pick 1 Oni to cause terror at the beginning of every turn. However, you have to pick a different Oni every turn. And then finally, the first time each turn that an Oni model is made prone, you can remove the prone marker. And the model does not become prone. So, pretty good theme. Pretty useful. And then, so for the models, I picked Waka the Rampager. Waka's throws that giant head there and is pretty good at it. Only 2 dice, but man, if it hits, it's brutal. Then you've got Yusha the Vindictive, who I like. Works really well with the dogs, that's what he's made for, but is not a bad Oni at 22 points. And then we go for the bigger dogs. We've got Bobata the Bell Ringer. Again, Bobata is jack of all trades, has very good melee, and also has circular strike with the bell and the chain, which is pretty cool. And then lastly, Zuba, it's one of my favorite Oni. So I should give you guys decent looks at these. It's not the greatest paint job in the world, but they look good. There we go. And then last but not least, we have an Oni slave, who usually punch beyond their point cost, in my opinion. But the main reason for Oni slave is if you get an Oni that really gets laid into and loses a lot of points, if you have the Oni slave within 2 inches of him and the Oni slave has an activation left, you can, in essence, activate him to jump in front of the Oni and take the damage. So it's pretty cool. And that is it for my Savage Wave list. Let us walk over and take a look at Carl's Wolf Clan list, and he can talk about what he's got. This is Carl's Wolf Clan army. It is the Wolf Clan right out of the box. It's 95 points plus 5 points for cards. So I'm going to hand so he hasn't had a lot of choice per se, but I'm going to hand the microphone over to Carl so he can talk about what he's got.
So, I mean, like, as I said, like, very limited because it is just what the Wolf Clan is. So we've got the 2 dogs here for the model Tsuki. which is right over here. So those 2 dogs pair well with the fighter over here. Then we've got 2 archers and 2 more fighters. Theme I'm using is Open Rebellion, and then I'm using Primal Howl, which allows me to use the pack trait without using any activations for the models that activated through pack. And then Okami no Mimi, which I can give, it's an instant, and I can give any wolf model, which is all the models in the faction, or at least all the models in this list, aware and range defense too. So that's most of it.
Wait, is this an event? It's an event. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Carl. All right, we are deployed. I didn't bother with a deployment roll because Carl's entire army has got scout 2 inches. So his army deploys after mine, and they deploy 2 inches up the board. As just imagine the board edge was 2 inches forward. So it's not a placement. It would, in essence, it's a 2-inch walk. If you were to lay down your models like mine are up against the edge, you measure 2 inches forward, and then you put the base up against that line. So I've just got my models split 2 and 2, heavy hitters on the left, lightweights on the right, with the Oni, or with the slave in the middle, so he can go to whomever needs the help. And Carl, and my Vim is Waka. No, sorry, Waka over there. No, where is he? Right there. That's Vim. Is Waka, because he can be he can run out of things to do at some point. So, I mean, he is an Oni, but, his big missile attack. He's got to pick up basically something and throw it each time, and there's not a lot of, I guess there's some scatter terrain on the table he can pick up. But anyway, there is Carl's deployment. Carl, would you name the people and show me where they are?
Oh gosh. That's Muna. That's Muna. That's Suki, that's Gorak, that's Nobuko, those are the 2 wolves, and that is Yue.
Okay, and who is your Vim?
Gorak is my Vim.
That one, the guy with the Nodachi. Got it. All right, he's not facing forward roughly at all.
I use where they point, where their weapons point for forwards. It provides a nice thing.
Okay. So there we go. Why don't we roll to see who gets first turn? Now, the scout does not help Carl in this roll, so we're just going to roll. I have a 1. Carl is a 2. Carl, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You go first.
All right. We will see you we're at the end of turn 1. Here we are at the end of turn 1. We have both moved forward cautiously. I've kind of set a position around this storefront here and have turned both of these idols to my favor. So that's good. Carl hasn't turned any yet, so though he does have models in contact with an idol. So, and then he's got one of his people. Who is this, Carl? Yue. So Yue, she's got the pole arm, is also on the other side of the storefront with everything behind her, waiting for me to make a play, no doubt. So I have, of course, we're not scoring yet, so we have 2 whole turns to go. But at the moment, I have 2 idols turned to my advantage, and Carl doesn't have any yet. So we shall see what we shall see. Carl, shall we make a roll to see who goes next? And I totally forgot about key and everything, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'll give myself the key, but I'm not going to worry about tactician or anything.
We tied on a 4.
All right, so Carl's got a 3. I've got a 1 again. Woo! I can tell how my game's going to go. So, Carl, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
All right, I will. We will see you if anything happens interesting mid-turn, and if not, we'll see you at the end of the turn. Okay, I'm going to film this little bit. We are in turn 2. So Carl pulled some wolfy shenanigans, in essence activating, what's her name?
Suki.
Suki. I should know this. Activating Suki, who has got wolf 2 6 inches, or a group 2 6 inches. And then Suki activated the 2 archers in the back here, who took medium range shots at Yusha here, and actually did half of his hit points. So they did a lot of damage. So Yusha decided he was going to walk into combat with the pole armor here, who is exhausted, and because Yusha whipped her earlier, had cowardly. So Carl actually had to make 3 rolls, because he rolled it first and then he made it, but since he had cowardly, he had to roll it again, and then he failed it, and then his fear test. But he's got bravery and cowardly cancel themselves out. So your first roll was successful. So Carl would, hey, I'm learning. So Carl is not afraid, because the bravery and cowardly cancel themselves out. So we just go with this first roll. So we get rid of this. All right. So Carl is not down any dice, because he doesn't get hurt by being exhausted. So he starts at 3 dice, and then he bought an extra one. So now he's up. Carl, do you still want to buy an extra dice? Go up to 4 now that you're not down any?
Yeah.
Okay, so Carl's at 4 dice.
No, I'm at 3 dice, because I ran. So I'm at...
Oh, you ran, right. Okay, so there we go. There was something I was missing. So Carl's at 3 dice. I'm at 3 dice. I don't have the key because I spent an extra die on my whip. I don't have the key to get an extra die. So we're both at 3. So let's just figure this out. Let me grab some dice. Figure out what I'm going to do. Carl's got a pole arm, so he's going to be going first. Okay. I'm trying to get the dice I want in my hand, and I can't. So I'm going to put that over my dice and hide them. And then I'm going to go with this. Now, Carl's already got 1 wound, and he's probably got about 4 or 5 left, depending on the model. So we'll see how that goes. Carl, do you know what you're doing?
Yep.
All right, let's... I am not... are you doing anything special, Defender?
No.
Okay, other than buying an extra die, and I am not doing anything extra, so...
3 attack.
You've got 3 attack. I've got 1 defense, 2 attack. Oh, look at that. Wowza. 3 6s when I needed them most. So, Carl, your attack will go first. You're at an 8, so you hit me on the 2. Ooh, maxed out the 2 table.
5 damage.
-1 is 4 damage. I am...
Oh, actually, can I do a thing? Can I do a thing?
I don't know. Can you?
Can I give myself sharp? For 1 key? I can. Like, I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, so I give myself sharp.
All right, I'll let you do that. Spend the key.
So,
2, 3, 4, 5. I am alive on 1 wound.
and then you'll kill her.
And then I kill her. So there we go. All right, so there you go. Live action, dramatic dice. You will never see me roll 3 6s again in the entire existence of my channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. But now my poor Yusha is down to one hit point, so he's not going to last very long. But not a good turn of events. But we'll have to go with it. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so Bobata walked into combat with the wolf and should have killed him, but didn't roll well in combat, but did a fair amount of wounds. So Bobata is now exhausted, and Carl's got activations, including 1 left over for a Gorak who can do pack 1.
Yep.
So Carl says he's going to do something wolfy, so I will let him explain what he's going to do.
So Gorak's going to activate, and he's going to pack on this dog. So he's going to try to walk into combat here. The dog's going to try to walk into combat here.
All right.
So
Yusha has terror, so he needs a 6. No problem for Gorak and the dog.
5,
No
6.
problem.
So
All right, so this happens. So this is pack activation.
Sorry, your bell's in the way, but I mean, I can get.
Yeah. Actually, you can just. I mean, it's a complicated action. Or sorry. Yeah. Why don't you just move that out of the way? Put it behind you.
Yeah.
There you go. You just pushed it over.
So this is where it gets very fun from a Wolfie perspective, because now you are outnumbered by 1.
Right.
You are exhausted. Wait, no, you've got 1 activation left?
No, I'm exhausted.
All right, so you're outnumbered, you're exhausted, which means that Gorak is getting... Oh, man. So, like, I think each guy is getting, like, 5 dice, including the dog, but...
I think you should explain it rather than guessing.
Well, because I don't know exactly, because they've got the special rules, but effectively you're outnumbered, which brings you down to 2, right? And then because we're dogs... I get +1 die when I'm or I get +1 die when I'm attacking a model that's exhausted. So Gorak's up to 4 dice, and then the wolf gets also gets a bonus die when attacking a model. So sorry, so the wolf has 3 dice and Gorak has 4.
All right, and then I have I'm down to 1 because I started at 2, and then. Oh, and I do have 3 key or 4 key, so I could boost 1 if I needed to. But at the moment, I'm down to 1 die. So who do you want to attack first?
Yeah, I'll probably have Gorak attack first.
Okay. I will buy the die.
I'm gonna spend 1 key to give myself sharp, and then I'm gonna spend 2 more key to give myself vicious umbrella block, which I believe is parry 1. Oh wait, but your weapon ignores parry, doesn't it? So I'm not going to spend those 2 key. Instead, I'm going to spend 3 key to get myself an extra die. So Gorak goes up to 5 dice and has sharp.
Okay. I will do...
Oh, sorry, I know what I'm forgetting now. They've also got coordinated attack, so I'm getting 1 extra die. So both the dog and Gorak have an additional die, so Gorak is at 6, and the dog will be at 4 when it's its time.
Okay, so we sorted everything out. We're still learning. I didn't want to do the discussion off camera or on camera. So in essence, because of all the bonuses, first of all, I start out at -2 because I'm outnumbered by 1 and because I'm exhausted. And then you start adding their bonuses, and one of them is attacking an exhausted model. So each of these models gets 1 extra die because they're attacking an exhausted model. And then the wolves get coordinated attack wolf. So the wolves get an extra die for that. So the wolves are up to 4 dice. And then Gorak has coordinated attack, but he has it with Tanaka. He doesn't have wolf. So, but Carl bought an extra die. And so anyway, somehow it works out that Gorak's got 5 dice, and the wolves have got 4 against my 3. No, my 1. So I could buy 1 extra if I wanted. So we'll see. I probably will buy 1 extra. And I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so we're doing Gorak first. I don't even know. Who am I? Bobata.
Special attacks defenses.
I'm going to do push attack 0.
3 attack, 2 defense.
I got 1 attack, 1 defense.
Oh, that wasn't great.
Oh, well, my attack isn't going to succeed.
All right, so what is your...
Oh, well, I'm brutal. I get +1. So my attack will succeed, but yours goes first.
So it's a big... So
I'm
gonna say that's a bigger deal. So I've got martial prowess, so I'm going to reroll my 1, 4, 5. So your attack doesn't succeed, and then I hit you on the 0.
Yeah, because it's your activation.
So that's
10 on the 0. That's 1
plus 2. So 12 on the 0.
Yeah, that could be
3, and I've got sharp, so that's 3 damage even.
Okay. All right. And then my attack doesn't succeed. So there we go. I'm going to pause it, and then I'll continue in a second with the second round. All right, second dog.
4 attack.
1 defense, and I roll a 1.
So 6, 7. So on the 7, plus 1, and I've got sharp. 3, so 4 on the 7 is 6 damage.
All right, I'm still alive. Sorry, this is really hard to do through the camera. There we go. All right, last dog.
No, the last dog isn't attacking. I only attack one.
Oh, okay. Well, no, but we're in... Oh, no, okay. Yeah, so it's not... It can't activate.
Yep.
Okay, got it. All right, so that took Bobata way down. So we'll see how that goes. I may probably end up dead at the end of this turn. So I guess it is my activation, and I don't... Oh, I got plenty left. So we'll see what I can do. All right, here we are at the end of turn 2. I've lost, well, I guess I haven't lost anybody yet, but I'm about to. I've got Yusha over here is down to 3 wounds. Bobata there is down to 1 wound. My Vim here has thrown the rock and did 1 wound, so that was pretty harmless. Zuba is over here, hasn't really done anything. So the Wolf Clan did their wolfy thing, and it seemed to work out pretty well. The archers shot me up pretty good, so I am... there's no telling if I'm going to win that first point. I might at the end of the next turn. I'm up 3 idols to nothing at the moment, but of course that can change. Or no, 3-1. Carl's got that one there. So we'll see how things go in turn 3. Carl, you want to roll to see who goes first? And we both roll 3s. And I roll a 1 again. So, third 1 in a row. Carl, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I think I'll go first.
Carl be going first. All right. All right, we are going to try something different. I have got this camera set up on a tiny little tripod right next to the table. And we're going to try to do just 1 turn live. So Carl and I are going to try to be on top of our game and play quickly. And of course, it's going to be hard because this is the first time Carl's played this army. But if anybody can do it, he can. We've already got our activation markers out. You might recognize these are the ones done by Bennett Mastercrafted Miniatures. Carl's got the acrylic ones. I have the bamboo. We have our key already lined up, and we should be all ready to go. So we're going to be doing our dice rolling on the table. So Carl's going to be doing it here. I'll be doing mine here. I've got the mic set up in between us, so I'm hoping you can hear both of us as we talk. And we are going to try to be on our best behavior so we don't break out into a fracas in the middle of everything. So, pre-turn actions, I always forget, but for once I'm not going to forget. I am going to give Waka the Rampager, who is my Vim, I'm going to give him terror. So I'm going to put a little scared marker by him just to remind Carl that he's not scared, but he is terrifying.
On that note, I'm going to use part of my Open Rebellion theme to make all models with a marked wound box have a -1 to their move statistic.
All right. And then I have... I think that's it as far as special activities. Okay. I will be spending 2 tokens from Zuba in order to get Future Sight. So I spend 2 key, I get Future Sight. That gives me... what does it give me? It gives me Tactician, and it takes Tactician away from the other side. Carl doesn't have Tactician, so that's not a big deal. So I will be rolling 2 dice. Carl will be rolling 1. Carl gets a 6. And I get a 2 even with 2 dice. So that was 2 key well spent.
So I'm going to go first.
So Carl's going to go first. Let's rock and roll. Let's see what these critters can do.
All right, so I'm going to have Tsuki go first. She's going to... Oh, man, how do I want to do this? I think that she's going to go and she's going to pack the 2 archers. And so first things first is I'm going to have one of the archers move. So this archer is going to walk here. And then Suki is going to try to walk into combat with that guy.
All
Or
right.
I should say archers will shoot first. So starting with...
Well, the
shooting, because that's a melee. So I shoot you and then I...
Yeah.
So I'm going to have this archer, who I presume to be Nobuko, go first. I'm going to spend 3 ki for an extra die. So I've got 4 dice. This isn't going to be a large enough area, especially now that the models move there. So I've got 4 dice.
You can do it there.
Right, I'm going to move this then.
Okay.
So I have 4 dice. I moved. So I started at a 4 because we're short range. I moved, brings it up to a 5. You're large, brings that down to a 3. So needing a 3. So cocked. Oh, well, look at that. So 6, 7, 8. So on the 5, plus 1. 10. So 10 on the 5 is 6 damage.
To whom?
This guy.
To Waka. All right.
And don't forget to toughness that down. And then the next archer is going to shoot you. Medium range. I hate to say it, but you may technically have cover, so...
I need to be within an inch of something.
All right, so,
and I'm not, so...
So never mind then. So just add a... that archer will also spend 3 ki for an extra die. So 4 dice needing a 3 again, because medium range, and then you're large. 6, 7, 8, so on the 5. Plus 1. Ooh, 11 on the 5 is 7 damage.
Down to 6, he's still alive.
And then Muna there is going to try to walk into combat. So I've got bravery, and you've got terror. So
Yep,
I guess
so
it's just a lot of rerolling.
No, they cancel each other out.
All right, so needing a 6, no. So that's kind of what I've come to expect when attacking the Oni, but at least my archers got their shots off. So Dad, now it's your turn.
All right. I will take. Boy. I'm gonna take Yusha, the Magnificent, and I am going to walk into base to base with Suki.
Yeah.
So we're gonna walk into base to base with Suki. So I have 5 inches of movement and lots of movement. And as we didn't mention this before, but we discussed that the big Oni can just kind of walk through the Pavises and knock them down.
So fear test, no. Bravery, no. So frightened.
All right. So the Pavise gets knocked over, and Yusha walks into combat. There we go. Should be out of the zone of control of the other model. All right. Give me just a second to take stock of my guy. Okay. So I have 3 dice.
Nice.
No negatives.
I'm gonna spend 3 ki to get myself an extra die, so I'm back up to 3.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I am doing nothing special.
Neither am I. 3 defense.
3 attack.
Ooh, that's not good. Martial prowess, one of the ones.
Oh God! Look what I rolled.
So 4, 5.
I rolled a 2 and 2 1s.
So I think that even with your brutal.
Yeah. No, I do nothing. All right. Now I go down to 1.
So Tsuki's out of activations. I think what am I gonna do? Sorry, this is where kind of videotaping things gets a little tricky when I'm trying to think about what I'm doing. Okay.
That's your first problem.
Yeah, yeah, my first problem. Oh boy. I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna have this archer. Ooh, well that's very irritating because you may just block me. Okay, so I'm gonna have Gorak activate, and he's gonna pack with the wolf, and so these two are gonna activate and attack your guy there.
Okay.
So you're outnumbered by 1, so you're down to 2 dice.
Right.
But that's it. So you should, or Gorak has 3 dice, and the wolf has 4, because the wolf is, or sorry, the wolf has 2, or 3. Sorry. So both the Gorak and the wolf have 3 dice. I figure I'll start with the wolf. How many wounds do you have left?
I have 1 wound left.
All right, ready when you are.
I'm going to spend my key on an extra die because why not, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 attack.
2 attack, 2 defense.
You only have you should be down to 2.
Oh,
dice.
right. You're right. So sorry, I'll just pull an attack dice. So
Right.
2 defense, 1 attack. So 4 on my defense, 4 on my attack.
So 7 on my attack, so I hit you on the 3.
Okay.
8, 9 on the 3 is 4 damage, and it got sharp.
That killed it. All right. So Bobata's done. Let me see. What do I want to do now?
Oh, actually, sorry. One thing I forgot to do.
Yeah.
Tsuki has tireless, so she actually doesn't lose an activation from defending in combat. So
Okay.
she still has 1 activation.
Yeah, Spook. Let your will be known. I will. I will. I will take. I'm going to move Zuba. So Zuba's going to kind of walk around. He's just going to walk into the open a little bit.
Right.
Everything's at close range. I mean, everything's medium. So Zuba's going to throw his hammer at Grognak. Gorak. So he has 3 dice. He's medium range, and he ignores cover. Well, there's no cover.
So you're at a 6.
So I'm at a 6. And I roll 3 ones. I'm going to have to throw more dice out.
All right. So So I'm going to have Suki activate. Suki is going to pack the 2 archers, and they're both going to try to walk into combat with your Scary Oni there.
Okay.
So she's activating, so I'm going to go ahead and pull her counter. So the closest archer, no. Rerolling because bravery. Yes. Second archer, no. Rerolling because bravery. Yes. So both archers get into combat.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and remove their activation tokens. So they keep those. Okay. So I get to choose the order of fighting. So I think I'll start with this archer. So the way that this is going to work is that archer normally has 3 dice. You're outnumbered. So that archer only has 3 dice. However, they've got coordinated attacks, so they're up to 4 dice. And that's it. So the archers are up to 4 dice. Now you are outnumbered, so you're down by 1 die.
Okay.
Because all Oni are indomitable, correct?
Yes, Indomitable 1.
Yeah, so you have 2 dice to my 4.
Okay.
And that is, I'm starting with Muna. So let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Alright, 2 defense, 2 attack.
1 of each. 6
Ooh.
defense.
So I'm going to martial prowess one of my 1s. That's not good. So, yeah, so you hit me on the 2.
No, I don't.
2 attack, 2 1s.
Oh, that's your defense.
No.
What's your
Oh,
defense?
no, you're right. Sorry, so my defense is 3.
Oh, actually, I have a 3 because of Brutal.
But we tie, but I rolled more dice. But I rolled 2 1s.
Yeah. So
I'm the activating model.
Right, but I rolled... Yeah.
Nice.
Because the 2 1s don't count, so we still tie. But you're the activating model, so yeah. You win. So nothing happens.
So then you're exhausted. So then he is going to attack you. And so that's Nobuko. And so if I'm not mistaken, Nobuko has the thing where if he's attacking an exhausted model, he gets +1 dice. So Nobuko starts at 3. He's got coordinated attack, so he's up to 4. And then you're exhausted, so he's up to 5. And you're now down to 1 die because you're outnumbered and exhausted.
Right.
5 attack.
1 defense. I get a 1.
All right. I'm gonna martial prowess a 2, just on the off chance I get a 6. No. So 5, 6, 7. So sorry, would you roll?
A 1.
Okay. So on the 7, this is at +1. So 6, 7 on the 7 is 7 damage.
Kills him.
Your turn.
Let me see. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna give you a chance to do all your goodies. So I'm gonna walk into combat here.
Okay. So Gorak is going to take a test there. He passes, so he's not frightened, which is good. And then, oh, Suki has no key, so never mind.
I'm gonna buy an extra die.
Why does Suki have no key? Okay. So I've got 3 dice.
Okay.
Ready when you are.
Yeah. I'm not doing anything.
All right. 3 defense.
4 attack.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna martial prowess a 3. All right. So 5, 6, 7.
All right.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Do you mind? I was gonna spend 2 key to give myself parry 1, which just boosts my highest defense die. So that's a 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So I have an 8 plus 1, 9 because I'm brutal.
So on the 1, you're strong. So 9.
9 plus 3.
So 12 on the 1 is 4 damage. Gorak is still alive. And then I think that this dog, so Gorak's out of activations, then this dog is going to try to walk into combat. So, fear test, and then what I'm going to do, which I've been forgetting to do, Suki has got leadership Wolf 1/6, which means that a wolf can use her key statistic to make opposed key tests, if I'm not mistaken. So 5, but the wolf has bravery because there's a model already in base to base. 4, 5, so the wolf does not make that melee.
All right, I will. I'm gonna walk into combat with Waka if I can get him in.
So, yeah, okay, so yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Right. So, fear test.
And he's got terror, so.
No. Well, they would cancel out. So,
yeah.
So no. So frightened.
All right. So you're exhausted, frightened, and outnumbered by 1.
So I'm not exhausted because I've got endurance.
Because you got endurance, right?
But I am. So I'm down to 1 dice. And I can't find any frightened markers, so I'm just going to put a death counter on there because I suspect that's what's going to be relevant.
Let me see. Are you? They're not quite out of activations. How many wounds do you have left?
2.
2. All right. No, I'm good the way I am. All right.
1 defense.
3 attack.
1 martial prowess. Not that matters. 4, 6, 7. So
plus 1. No, he's not brutal. So
on the 3, you can't do.
I do have strong though.
Yeah. So I mean, like it'll be. Yeah, that'll. Wait. Let's see. 4, 5,
4, 5,
6.
6
3, yeah.
plus 1 would be 6.
Yeah, that kills him.
Okay. Yay! I did something.
So he was my Vim, so that's another victory point for you.
Not necessarily.
Yes, it is. Or, well, yeah, not necessarily. Okay. So my dog actually can't do anything because the dog is frightened, and frightened models can't move into combat with models that cause fear. So I've effectively, I mean, I guess I'll have that dog move back there, but that dog can't do anything, so I'm out of activation. So, well, I guess because they don't have to be exhausted, so that dog will just, actually, if I'll be smart, the dog is going to walk there. Yes. All right. So your turn.
How many wounds does Suki have left? Is she undamaged?
She's got 5 wounds left.
5 wounds left. I'm gonna take my Oni slave and I'm gonna charge this archer right here.
All right, so that would be that's Muna.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got endurance. So
wait, Waka is gonna. I knew there was a reason I didn't spend key. Waka's gonna spend a key to get the key stat of Gorak.
All right, so he gets
back in wounds.
2.
2. All right, so Waka isn't quite as wounded as he was.
Alright, so Muna has endurance, so she still has 3 dice, and then she's going to spend 3 key for an extra die. So Muna's now got 4 dice.
Okay. Oni Slave will spend. All right, wait a minute. Let me think what I'm doing here. That's not going to help me any. So I had him spend 3 key for an extra die. And okay.
2 and 2.
2 attack, 1 defense. Defense is a 5, attack is a 4.
Alright, I'm going to martial paralysis my 3.
Oh,
6,
nice.
7. So I hit you on the 2. Plus 1.
Wait a minute, my attack my attack failed. Okay.
Yeah. So 6, 7 on the 2 is 2 damage.
Alright.
And then my wolf is going to... What's my wolf going to do? Yeah, my wolf will walk here. So, I'm out of activations.
I think oh, Waka's got 1 left.
Yeah.
What is Waka gonna do? Waka, Waka, Waka. You know, and I didn't place him right, otherwise Waka could have rearmed himself. Darn it. So, what am I gonna do? Let me see. Can Waka get through here? He's got a...
I mean, the simple answer would be to scooch him. I don't think he can.
Well, hold on. I'm trying to measure the base. Okay, so the base... Okay, the base is a smidge under 2... No, the base is 2 inches wide. So if I can't get 2 inches between these two, which I can't, so he can't go through there. Too bad. That would have worked. Let me see. I don't want him over there. There's no room for him over here. Shoot! It's annoying. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of very uncertain here. I don't like any of my options. Especially since I haven't won a single go first roll through the whole game. Well, there's nothing for the time being.
And don't forget you have -1 to your move statistic.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not going that far. I'm just going to tuck him over so he's got a couple of options for things to pick up. And change his facing so he doesn't get surprised by anything.
All right. So end of turn stuff. Dog, if it's still frightened. Dog is no longer frightened. Suki has bravery. Suki is still frightened.
All right, so there's our experiment, guys. That is the end of turn 3. I win the first victory point, having 3 idols turned towards me to Carl's 1. So nobody has made any prayer yet, and I am way down on points. But we'll see how this all goes. So I'm gonna go back to doing summary, just because we may get to the point where we have to start fiddling and stuff. But if you like it, make sure you comment. If you didn't think it was all that interesting, then make sure you comment too. And I'll do my best to try to do what you guys like. All right, we will see you after we get set up for the next turn and play the next turn. Here we are at the end of turn 4 and what we're calling the end of the game. I should have left the video going. You know, there were basically two things that changed drastically this turn. And number one was my dice rolling got much better all of a sudden, as things tend to go. And the other thing is Carl's dice rolling, particularly on his fear tests, went down the tubes. And with him having trouble or not being able to engage my guys when he needed them, and then with my Oni, after he took out two, I mean, the early part of the game went really good for the Wolves. But then I managed to start rolling really well with my Oni, and of course I'm pretty reckless with them. So I have a tendency to put all 3 dice into attack, or maybe 1 dice into defense and 2 dice into attack. But in essence, I was able to just outdice him at the end, and because he couldn't target me, he couldn't do these cool wolf tricks, and I was able to. I took out both wolves and Gorak, and then finally one of the archers, all in pretty quick succession with the Oni. So it would have been, if we had played it out, unless I somehow managed not to kill all of his, in case I killed his models early, it would have ended up a 3-0 victory, because my Vim is, at the moment anyway, still alive. His 1 archer is engaged in combat. He does have Suki, who is good. But not against 2 Oni.
Well, not even good on her own. Only good with other guys.
Only good with, okay, so there you go. So Carl, other than the dice kind of flipping on you when you really needed them to be good.
Even flip on me, that would be a mischaracterization. It's just when literally every single melee attack requires a Fear 6 test, you will fail a number of them because it's a dice game, and that's all. I think that's what was the deciding factor in the game, was the fact that I had several melees I tried to do where I failed the fear. I had several times where at the end of the turn, to kind of remove the fear statistic, I failed that as well, and that was most of it. If that hadn't happened, it would have been a different game, but it did, and that's how it works.
Yeah, fear's really paralyzing. Well, paralyzing fear. Fear can be really paralyzing in this game. So anyway, Carl, thank you for the game. I know it was going really well at the beginning and it got frustrating at the end, but thank you for giving the Wolf Clan a try. I appreciate it. So guys, I wouldn't, just because Carl kind of ran out of luck, doesn't mean you just don't keep whacking away at it. It is a challenging clan to run. We haven't shown it, but I tried it twice and got creamed, much worse than Carl's game here. And I just couldn't figure them out. And Carl felt pretty confident coming in, and he did really well. He took care of 2 of my own. He took my other one down to 1 point. The only reason my Vim is still alive is because I managed to have Ki to spend on Consume Soul. And so I got a few hit points back on him. But you are probably going to have to practice a little bit. They're fragile. They have really cool mechanics. I mean, they are, as a faction, kind of like my dogs when I run the Alpha Dogs, where they get all kinds of bonuses, and getting bonuses for attacking a worn out model or a exhausted model, and bonuses for attacking with other wolves, or bonuses for attacking with other clan members and all that. Those really add up and can be brutal. But they don't have any armor, and they don't have any toughness. And so if you can get into them and actually get to the point where you're doing damage, they are pretty easy to kill. So I invite you guys, I know if those who like me were frantic to get them, you're going to have to play with them a little bit. I caution you against being too aggressive with them. I know they're built to be aggressive, and I know that's what Jason kind of envisioned them to be. But if you get them out there, if you don't attack as a pack, as a group, you are going to get cut to ribbons. And Carl did beautifully. He attacked as a pack and killed 2 of my Oni and almost killed a third without any problems in the early rounds. And then in the later rounds, I was able to get lucky with some dice rolls. I was able to bring Zuba in, who is really formidable as a fighter, and start thinning his numbers, and it was just a little too much. The 2 archers too, that 5, 10, 15 inch range, sweet, really nice. The problem is when you're playing a game like this with objectives, it forces you to come to the center and do things that you don't want to do, because otherwise you're going to lose on points. Maybe not on models, but you're going to lose on points. So anyway, so this was just our first experiment that was good enough to post. We'll keep at it. I am excited to get the last model in so I can paint the faction up, because it really makes me nuts to put unpainted models on the table. But in this case, I thought it would be interesting for you guys, even with the models being unpainted. So we will keep going at it. I also have all the new cult stuff coming in. That's really exciting. Carl and I are both cranked up about that. And I have all of these Bakemono to paint. That's really exciting too, because that is the new box set, plus a couple of models. So you can see I got extras of these guys, and I have 2 of the old spearmen, so I'm going to replace one with him. I've got an extra of this guy here, so I've got 2 of those. So yeah, it's this will complete my Bakemono set, really. There's a bunch of Bakemono I don't have, but at the moment, these are the ones I want, plus the ones I already have. So there's going to be Bakemono hordes all over the place on Gitsapalooza. I hope you guys like it. Oh, and I want to show you something cool I did the other day. So Carl has got Mizuchi here, and Mizuchi Ito, you guys, probably are familiar with him. Well, why can't turn, damn you? There we are. So you can see, if I can get the camera to focus in on him, I gave him new horns. His horns were huge and just glued on to little depressions, and they were fine if you take a really good, careful care of the model. But around here, models tend to they get knocked over and get stepped on by cats and get dropped by me. So you guys remember, I don't know if you saw it, but I showed you how to use a drill like a lathe. So you put a piece of metal wire in, or wood, or whatever you want to work on, and you get a file, and you just get the drill going at a high speed, and then you just hit it with the file, and then you can shape it. And so what I did is I took some wire, I think this was it. So yeah, that's it. So I took, come on, get in focus. So I took the wire there, I put it in the drill, and I just tapered it to a point. Not super sharp point, but to a point. And then once I had it tapered, then I made an even thinner section, like right about where my fingernail is touching, right about there, to act as a pin. And then I bent the horns up to the curvature that you see, if I could actually get the camera to focus. Oh, come on. Come on. Anyway, that's not perfect, but at least you kind of get the idea. And then I drilled holes in the helmet and stuck the pins in for the horns. And now Mizuchi has new horns that are very resilient. Obviously, if you drop him from a height, you do enough damage to him, you're going to mess him up. But for the time being, why did the camera suddenly stop focusing? I don't know. Oh, I know. We'll zoom in the old-fashioned way. No, that still doesn't work. Sorry, guys. It's just that kind of, it's the end of the night. The camera has had enough. So anyway, I wanted to show that off. I thought it was kind of cool. So if you have parts that are constantly falling off, there are ways to deal with them. All right. Well, thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us in our experiment with the Wolf Clan. I hope you found it at least interesting. I'm sure we both made a lot of mistakes, which is why I don't film the live stuff very much, because I know, just think about how many mistakes people point out when I'm just doing the summaries, much less the live stuff. But anyway, I hope you guys got something out of it. It was interesting. I mean, they were really effective early, but they just can't take a beating. So when you're planning your tactics, you're going to have to take that into account. If you look at my Alpha Dogs videos, if you want a clue as how I think they should be played, because they have kind of the same tactic, where they can activate multiple models in one go, and they get bonuses for attacking as a group. So as much as you can, I think you need to try to draw your opponent out and then pounce on them. And you, or the archers, can Hell, the 2 archers almost took one of my Oni out with 1 shot each. So basically 2 shots, and I was down to 1 wound. So there's a lot of potential in this army, but it just cannot take a beating. So if you've got other factions that are similar, you start with those tactics and then expand once you get a handle on what the wolves can do. So there you go. I thank Carl for giving me a really good game and for kind of stepping up and thinking he could run the wolves, and he did. He ran them much better than I did in my 2 attempts. And I want to thank you guys for continuing to support me, watching the videos. Hit the like button if you feel like it. Again, I'm not monetizing the channel, so I'm not as concerned about that kind of stuff as I think most people are, but it's nice to have a little affirmation that people like what you're doing. So that's it. You guys have a great day. Stay safe, stay huddled up, don't take any stupid chances with the coronavirus. And I'm not one to hit the panic button, but be smart. There's no penalty for being smart. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time on Gitsapalooza.